probably want to sit down for this.
I mean, it's going to be a minute.
I mean, I'm sure it will be.
This whole story is going to take a minute. All right, so Drunk Star Wars by Mama.
Yes.
So a long time ago, in a land far, far away, there were the good guys and the bad guys. And the good guys wear black robes and hoods, and the bad guys wear black robes and hoods, and the good guys wear like cream-colored robes with hoods, but with like a brown sash. And for whatever reason, at some point in time, there was a child. His mother was a slave. She lived on a sandy planet with 2 sons. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, the good guys, the Jedi, they were there. And they took notice of this child with exceptional electronic abilities. And they were like, hey kid, you should be a Jedi. And the other good guy was like, no sir, that's a bad idea. He's too old. And the other guy was like, no. It's cool, man. I got him. I'll vouch for him. He's smart. And he's got a way with the Force. So let's take him with us. So they take him to another planet, because that's what you do. And they start training him on like how to summon things with his mind and kill people and whatnot. And in the process, he falls in love with Natalie Portman, who is fucking hot, and who could blame him? I mean, let's be real. She was supposed to be like 12 in those movies, and she was clearly not. She was fucking hot. So he's like, hey, you're really pretty, and I like you. And she's like, hey, you're really cute, and you're like a child, and I'm a grown-up, and that's not appropriate, so let's just be friends. And then, like, a couple years go by, and he's, like, really feeling himself with his little Jedi robe.
And his rat tail.
And she's like, ooh, you've aged, like, 2 years. Now you're the appropriate age for me to bang. This is now socially acceptable. So let's get married. And so they get married. And then she gets pregnant. And he's like, oh, but I love you so much and I don't want to lose you. Whatever will I do if I lose you? And Yoda's like, dude, path to the dark side. Bad idea. You don't want to go there. Don't do it, bro. And the creepy white pale guy with the wrinkles and the black hood is like, love her. If you love her, I will save her. If you kill all the baby Jedi. And he's like, all right, cool, bro. I got you. And so he goes and like massacres all the children. And the Jedi are like, oh, damn. You killed all of our children. What are we going to do now? And Yoda's like, I'm a bounce. I gotta go. So Yoda jets off to like another planet, right? And in the meantime, Anakin, I don't think I've said his name before this, but so Anakin is like, all right, I killed all these children and now I'm like officially bad. So now what? And they're like, well, now you have to build a Death Star. And so
that escalated quickly.
right? Now you have to kill a whole planet And he's like, okay, cool, bro. I see you. And I feel like I'm missing so many details.
A couple? Just maybe one or two.
It doesn't even matter though, because like this is literally the gist of the story from my point of view. So Anakin kills all the kids. His wife gives birth to twins. They separate the twins for safety, and that becomes Luke and Leia, right? So Leia becomes a princess because for whatever reason they stick her with like a royal family, and then for whatever reason they're like, hey Luke, you can live in the fucking slums. Like, here, be a bottom feeder, it's good for you, because then Darth Vader won't find you. And then, like, some shit happens, and they grow up, and I think maybe they're teenagers. Maybe. Not really sure. And I don't know, I'm kind of lost at that point. Like, some bad shit happens, and Leia's like, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. And Luke goes to save her with Han. And then he, like, makes out with his sister, which is weird. Because, sir, that's your sister. It's your twin sister. Y'all don't look the same age. So that, I feel like they could have casted that a little bit better. And then the good guys win. There's some really, really cute little, like, monkey guys. They're called Ewoks.
Are they approximately that size?
Yeah, they're approximately this size. They're fucking adorable.
Okay.
And they have little, like, wooden spears. And they live in the woods. And they are the saviors of the movie. Yeah, they're the winners. And so then, apparently, at some point in time, Luke is like, oh no, I can't be a Jedi anymore. And he, like, runs off to an island. And Leia and Han do the dirty, because of course they did. And they had a son who, ooh, shocker, spoiler alert, batshit crazy. Who would have guessed? And he's, like, super obsessed with a chick who we don't find out until way, way fucking later is actually the descendant of the very, very first bad guy who turned Anakin into Darth Vader. Yeah, it's a whole clusterfuck. There's too many storylines, and I can't keep it all straight.
So I feel like this is the question time where I pose questions and you try and answer them.
Okay.
So you missed a couple of pretty important characters.
Go for it.
Not even plot points, just characters. Go ahead and tell me the story of one of our favorite characters, Chewbacca.
He's just a random furry guy that's like Han Solo #2. He's fucking awesome in everything that he does, but he is just kind of back up to Han Solo.
If you had to guesstimate at how old Chewbacca is,
500 years old.
Are you basing that off of anything, or just...
It's based on the fact that I remember that he's super old.
Okay, fair enough. Tell me the story of our favorite annoying gold guy.
Oh, hang on.
The first test is, can you remember his name? Or rather, his designation. Because he is a robot.
I can see him. C-3PO.
There you go.
So, C-3PO was built by... Anakin. I don't know if that's right. I don't know. Byron, like, give me an... Okay. And while he was on Tatooine, which is the sand planet with the two suns, okay, as just like a friend helper droid. I mean, I don't know that there's much else to that other than, like, he's kind of obnoxious, but he's mostly right. He's like, hey, danger. Well, yeah, there's fucking danger. We're still gonna go through it because it's Star Wars.
Okay. Our favorite annoying character.
If you say Jar Jar Binks, I swear to God I'm gonna hit you. Right in the vagina. Because Jar Jar Binks is not annoying. He is lovely. I love him, and I don't care what anybody says, because Misa Jar Jar Binks. And that's all we're going to say about that.
Okay. Okay, then. Final test. Where does The Mandalorian fit into all of this?
So, based on the last episode, apparently The Mandalorian happens sometime during the Luke and Leia season, which is, 4 through 6. Episode 4 through 6. And honestly, I'm fucking lost. I would need to watch all of them and all of The Mandalorian again to figure out how that timeline fits together. But I know based on the cartoon, so we had Ahsoka was Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan. Okay, so now my brain's exploding. It's like literally melting and like it's gonna drip out of my ears any moment because I'm just realizing that the timeline that I had thought existed is actually much longer.
Yes. It is several generations worth of story.
Well, it's several generations worth of story, but it's also like Ahsoka would have been kind of a young kid during the comic where Anakin was her master, because that was all prior to Anakin going dark side and becoming Darth Vader. But then she became like full-blown Jedi, and I never watched all of that season. I literally watched bits and pieces of part of the season because I wasn't really interested, I'm going to be honest. And also your dad watches it way too fast for me because I would be at work and he would watch like 6 episodes and then I'd be like, oh, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So this is cool. I'll just not catch up. But so she eventually became like a full-blown Jedi, apparently, I guess, according to Mandalorian. But her master's son is now an adult. So I feel like she should have been older than she looked. Unless maybe she's like the baby Yoda race.
I was gonna say,
in which case that like 50 is a baby and like.
And so actual Yoda was
really well.
old as fuck, yeah.
Yeah. Although in the latest Mandalorian, did you see that Baby Yoda had little gray hairs?
Mm-hmm.
So he had like little, like old man hairs, which was super cute. He looked a lot more like Yoda.
So what were we talking about before we started filming this? What character duo really confused the hell out of you?
All of them.
Somebody in The Mandalorian, who is both in the original trilogy and the second trilogy.
Luke.
He has a set of armor.
The man. Oh, Boba Fett.
There you go.
Boba Fett. Okay, yeah. So that is what started it. Well, only because you have to remember, I have literally watched all of the Star Wars movies all the way through once. One time. And all of the Mandalorian episodes one time. And so my vague recollection is that the guy on The Mandalorian said, "That's my dad's armor." And we were like, "That's Boba Fett's armor." And so Boba Fett is his dad. But Boba Fett is a clone? Question mark? Except he's not a clone. Because according to what you told me, he gave his DNA so that he could be the clones.
Who gave his DNA? So
Boba Fett.
Okay.
And so his son is his clone.
Who is his son?
Who is
The guy on The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Who's not Boba Fett, but is Boba Fett. I don't fucking know, man.
Dad, you want to tell us the name of Boba Fett's dad?
Jango Fett.
Jango Fett. I knew it started with a J, but I kept thinking JoJo, and I was like, that's not right.
It's not JoJo Fett.
It's not JoJo Fett, no. It's Jango, which is
Jango.
arguably close.
Ooh, like Django Unchained.
Yes.
That's
sure.
Whatever. Are we good?
I mean, I'm trying to... Dad, any follow-up questions?
Do
Any
you have any
clarifications?
I think I learned something.
I mean, I think I clarified it pretty clearly.
I think you only missed one whole movie
I mean...
out of those 9.
Of the original 9, or the if we don't include
I was actually
Rogue One and Solo.
I was a little impressed by how much you actually did know that. So
Thank you.
I mean, I had explained a good portion of it to her, like 5 minutes previously, so I'd be a little upset if you didn't understand.
That's not fair. I remembered a good portion of that.
I mean, yeah, a decent portion.
I feel like you should give me credit for knowing as much as I did, considering the fact that I almost always fall asleep.
Ooh, I thought of a question. Where is Samuel L. Jackson in all of this? In the one movie where he's not allowed to say fuck, or rather movie series.
Samuel L. Jackson is...
kind of an asshole, arguably.
God, I can't remember his name, but I can see...
Samuel L. Jackson's face? Yes, that is his face.
But I see him in the, like, cream-colored robe. What the fuck was his name? He gets killed in a really dramatic way. Somebody, like, stabs him in a window and he falls out. I don't remember who stabs him. I know he's, like, one of the, like, high Jedi Council people.
Yeah.
But I don't remember his name. I just remember that he is a high Jedi Council person, and when he dies, it's because he's standing in, like, a window, and somebody stabs him and he falls off the window. I mean, stabs him with a lightsaber, not, like, with a sword, because that would be weird.
So he gets stabbed with a lightsaber. That's the only part of his death. That's it.
Well, that's the only part I remember.
Just like, one guy stabbed him with a lightsaber, and that was it.
Well, no, he
fell out the window.
Like, there was a lightsaber fight, obviously, but...
Yeah, there was a lightsaber fight.
A huge fucking deal. I remember all that. I feel like it might have been the guy that turned Anakin bad. Maybe there was some lightning involved. Maybe, yeah. As I'm thinking about it more, it seems to like, I don't know. I could be making this up, but like the guy, Palpatine, the lightsaber, and his little electricity hand, like the Force hand, and he was like, die, bitch, and whatever Samuel L. Jackson's name was, I really don't know. I cannot remember. But he was in a windowsill when that happened. And Palpatine was like, die. And he was like, ah! And he got electrocuted to death, and then he fell out the window.
So he didn't get stabbed with a lightsaber.
Maybe not. No. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think he
So
did.
it was just one guy with the Force lightning, not one guy with the Force lightsaber.
Listen, either way, there was some force, and there was a guy, and he killed him.
Just one guy. Just
Yeah.
one guy took down Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, you know, when you have the force, it only takes the one guy. Were there more guys? Did I, like... Was there more than one guy there? Yes? Okay, multiple guys?
Yes.
Okay, cool. If you say so, I believe you.
Do you even remember Qui-Gon? Is my next question.
I don't even know what the fuck you just said to me. Qui-Gon? Why is something gone? I don't know. Is that, I'm assuming that's the name of a character?
Yes, it is.
Okay, can you aesthetically describe that character?
Cream-colored robe with a hood.
That's super helpful. I mean,
he has a lightsaber.
Oh, what color was the lightsaber? Oh, you don't even know. See? You don't even know.
Let's see. It was probably blue or green.
Okay, so good guy.
Well, he was in a cream-colored robe, not a black one, so...
I mean, I think Anakin started in a cream-colored robe, but
Yes, Anakin started. Yes, and there was a guy with a cream-colored robe.
I don't know who this.
He's played by Liam Neeson.
Oh, that actually doesn't help. You would think it would, but it doesn't.
He-
I don't fucking know,
he's
man.
a
you
very
remember-
distinctive man, so, yeah.
Do you remember when we all dressed up as Star Wars characters and we shaved Dad's head and we glued some horns to
Darth
it?
Maul!
Darth Maul, yeah. So Qui-Gon is related to a very important scene with Darth Maul.
They fought.
Yeah, there was some lightsabers and them fighting.
They
Yeah.
did a fight. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my guess.
Yes.
That's the extent of my guess.
They're
I
both-
still don't remember who you're talking about or the scene.
So if you had to take a guess as to how Obi-Wan managed to become a Jedi,
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Qui-Gon what?
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Jin?
I don't know where Jinn came from.
I don't know either.
That's right.
Is it? Hey!
Why do they always refer to him as Qui-Gon then, and not Jin? Like they refer to a lot of other people as their full name.
Oh.
That's weird.
See, I know random information. So
Yeah,
when you put the things together like that, Qui-Gon Jinn was the master of Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm. He was briefly somebody else's master. It was pretty important too.
Yoda.
No.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No.
I don't know. That's the... Luke.
No,
No.
way too old for that.
Yeah. Anakin. No. No. He wasn't Anakin's master. Byron. Canon check.
No.
He wasn't full on, but he was proposed to be.
Well, yeah, he said, I'll do it.
Yeah, and then he dies.
And then he didn't.
Yeah. And then he dies, so.
Okay,
Well, so
that's an iffy question. I feel like that was a trick question.
So,
Sierra Nicole.
That was kind of minutia.
So, Qui-Gon pulls Anakin off Tatooine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, Obi-Wan is Qui-Gon's Padawan.
And he's like, hey, you're going to train this guy.
Well, so Qui-Gon's plan that he proposes to the council is, you make Obi-Wan a full Jedi, and I will train Anakin. Well, then Qui-Gon dies. And so the council's like, well, I guess he's your problem now, Obi-Wan.
Sorry about your luck.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I definitely wouldn't have picked up on that during the movies. I mean, let's be real. Cream-colored robes. Black-colored robes. Do you have any other questions you would like me to answer?
I'm trying to think.
Do you have any other questions about the Star Wars universe you would like to have answered? Because I am the knower of all, clearly.
Yeah. Dad, any input?
Oh, no, I've learned plenty.
What,
You're welcome.
You don't want to learn anymore?
I think my small brain can't handle anymore.
Your small brain can't handle any more Star Wars information?
I'm all good.
Ooh, also... Oh, God, I don't remember their names now. Fuck.
Tell me the story of them. No.
They're tiny little guys that look like penguins.
Porgs.
Porgs! That was the extent of it. Just porgs are cute. They're adorable.
Agreed. Porgs are cute. Except for the one that Chewbacca eats. That one's not very cute.
I mean, it was.
It was until he killed it, yeah.
No, it looked tasty after he cooked it. And then you realized what it was. And you were like, damn. Oh, wait, that's just like every turkey we eat.
Porg equals turkey. The porg is the turkey of the Star Wars universe.
It did kind of look like a turkey on a spit. I would have said a chicken, but it's bigger. Are there any other Star Wars verse questions that you would like to have answered? Because I am the knower of all Star Wars things, clearly.
I mean, not without going into the recent side movies, which, I mean, we all went and saw in theater together, so...
Yeah, that doesn't mean I know anything about them, because, again, seen them once. Do you want my take on...
Yeah, go ahead and give me your take on, Solo, a Star Wars movie.
So, Han Solo started off as a prisoner of some sort of, like, prison camp world thing. And that, like, sucked ass for him, obviously. And there was a hot chick there, and he liked her, and so he wanted to escape. And so he tried to escape, and then in the process of escaping, she got caught, and he didn't. And she was like, no, you need to, like, go on, because you're never going to get out of here otherwise. And he was like, okay, well, this sucks, and I'll come back for you. And so then, I don't know, some, like, shit happened, and he managed to get a ship, and he made some friends, and then...
Speaking of some friends,
job. Well, one of them was Chewbacca, obviously.
Well, yeah, like,
Chewbacca.
One of them was also arguably one of the only notable black guys in the series, other than Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I don't know his name. I'm not gonna lie.
Lando.
Lando Calrissian.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so like he makes some friends, not very good friends, though, if we're being real honest. Because friends don't do you like that, but it's fine. So he makes some friends, he makes some enemies, granted. And he somehow ends up in a deal where he's got to make nice with this like really bad guy
Who's played by Jarvis.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he was. And so he's in this room and he's like, holy shit, that's my ex-girlfriend. Fuck, she's still hot. Which, I mean, granted, yeah, she was still hot. And so
It's almost like neither one of them had aged a day between
Right.
takes.
Right. And so he's like, God, she's still hot and I need to save her. Right. And so like literally everything he does after that is just kind of an attempt to save her. Even though he doesn't realize that she is pulling the strings, because that's how bitches do. You know? They run the world. Who run the world? Girls. Beyonce learned us that. That's right. I said Beyonce learned us that. I live in Tennessee, folks. That's how we talk. So he ends up like really getting fucked over in the end, I think, is the moral of that movie. Well, yeah, that's kind of it. Like, he had a shitty life, he had a shitty upbringing, he had a shitty circumstance, he escaped it, all in an effort to get back to this girl who had inevitably made her own circumstances, because she was like, fuck this, I am in a shitty environment with some shitty people, and I am gonna run this bitch. So, fuck all y'all. So, I don't know what sort of weird feminine wiles she used, but she very clearly, by the end of the movie, had control of the situation, other than the fact that she was, like, controlled by, like, whatever supreme overlord of darkness was happening. I don't remember who that was, but it was bad. It seemed real bad. Like, he was gonna, like, rip her skin off while she was still alive if she didn't cooperate.
I mean, yeah, that was he was very.
I mean, that was kind of the gist of what I got. Was like he was like, I will force choke you up into the air and then slowly peel your skin from your body if you don't cooperate. And she was like, I am solidly scared of you, so I will do whatever I need to do, including stabbing my ex-boyfriend in the back. But it's cool because I haven't seen him like 20 years, even though we haven't aged at all. Like, not even a single day. So it's all good. So that's Han Solo, the movie.
The moral is Han shot first.
Well, the moral is Han got fucked first, for sure. Even if he didn't shoot first, he definitely got fucked first.
Do you remember when we were in the theater and there was
And
a
Dad
scene and
screamed
Dad
out?
very loudly goes, Han shot first, and the entire theater applauded?
I do, in fact.
Do you remember what scene that was in regards to? Even vaguely.
So, I don't remember the movie, but I do remember it's a scene in a tavern in which Han is sitting at a table and there's another guy on the other side, and then like a shootout occurs. And so the argument is that Han shot under the table first, and that's what caused the shootout.
Do you know why Dad said Han shot first when we were actually watching Solo? Like, what scene in that movie?
Oh. Oh. It was a scene in which Han shot first.
Yes. Yes, it was.
There were multiple of those. I really couldn't. It was probably one in which the shooting wasn't necessary.
Oh no, it was very necessary.
Sure.
So do you remember the Hunger Games?
Yes.
Do you remember
Vaguely.
Haymitch? Haymitch?
Haymitch was the
Katniss and Peeta's mentor.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson.
Well, yes. So I see all of those things in my head, but I can't always articulate them. So yes, Woody Harrelson.
That is who Han shot first. There is a scene in which Woody Harrelson goes to
Woody
fuck
Harrelson
Han.
was in that movie. I had completely forgotten.
So there is a deal that goes on, and Han is going to double cross Hot Chick's boss, right?
Yes.
And Haymitch is like, no, I'm gonna double cross you for Hot Chick's boss, right? And Haymitch goes to monologue, and he gets like 3 words in, and
like,
Han just
fuck off,
shoots him.
Yeah, which is, I mean, fair. Like, Woody Harrelson gets, like, he gets to talk a lot. Let's be real. It's because he's cute and he's good at making funny monologues, but Woody Harrelson, what's that?
And I think that's a good note to end on.